Hi everyone, thank you for joining me for the Immunity Boosting webinar. I'm Dr. Zelina. Today's topics that we'll be going over, a brief introduction about who I am. We'll talk about COVID-19, antiviral foods and herbs, immune boosting foods and herbs, some recipes, supplements, essential oils, as well as lifestyle practices. Let's get started. I'm Dr. Zelina. I'm a doctor of acupuncture and traditional medicine. I'm the founder and provider at Acuvita Acupuncture, which is an acupuncture and holistic health practice in Highland Park, Los Angeles, California. I treat using a combination of acupuncture, cupping, gua sha, bodywork, herbal medicine, supplements, nutrition, meditation, and lifestyle advice, which all fall under the umbrella of traditional Chinese medicine. I also incorporate various other modalities and practices borrowed from traditional Mexican medicine, otherwise known as curanderismo, Ayurvedic medicine, and other holistic modalities and medicines out there. My specialties include immunity, women's health, mood health, spirituality, and pain. I started off as a patient. I was diagnosed with lupus in 2007. I also have a lifelong history of depression and trauma, which I've been able to overcome all of these through the use of acupuncture and traditional medicine. Thankfully, I'm also a mom to a beautiful 2-year-old daughter named Luna. Let's talk about COVID-19. The coronavirus is known as the common cold. It's been around for many years, and COVID-19 is a brand new strain of controversial origin. COVID-19 can overburden and then shut down the immune system once it infects a host. The way COVID-19 works is it mainly attacks the lungs and the respiratory system, and it clogs the airways, creating difficulty breathing. New information is suggesting that COVID-19 also attacks the intestinal system, the digestive system, as well as the kidneys. COVID-19 is highly contagious and can be transmitted by touch, by being near someone, and also by surfaces because the virus lives on a surface for several days. This virus is most contagious when symptoms manifest, but carriers can still transmit the virus even if they're not showing symptoms. So a healthy person may still pass the virus on to someone else. At the time of this webinar, which is March 2020, it is estimated that more than half of California's population will have COVID-19. COVID-19 has spread the most by those traveling and being in large crowds. And the incubation period of COVID-19 is anywhere between 2 to 14 days. This is how long it can take the virus to manifest. The main symptoms are fever, cough, usually dry, and shortness of breath. You should call 911 if you have the below symptoms, in addition to the first three. Persistent chest pain or pressure, difficulty breathing, new confusion or inability to arouse, and bluish lips or face. What should you do if you feel sick? Number one, you should stay home. Because this is a pandemic, it is highly contagious. You want to avoid contact with others and avoid spreading this virus to others. You should call your doctor's office first and get screened over the phone before going into any clinic or hospital. If you do go out, avoid public transit or ride-sharing services. When you are home and you live with others, stay in a different room. Isolate. Wear a mask when someone comes into your room and wash your hands often. Also, clean and disinfect surfaces often. You want to maintain as little contact as possible with anyone else. Call 911 if your condition worsens or you feel it is an emergency. How can we prevent the spread? Number one, wash your hands thoroughly with warm, soapy water for 20 seconds or more. When you wash your hands thoroughly with warm, soapy water, you are breaking up the membrane that holds together the virus, and that is why it is so important to wash your hands. If you do sneeze or cough, make sure that you cover your mouth, your nose with a tissue, and then you throw it away as soon as possible into the trash can or into the toilet. Also, avoid touching your face with your hands, especially your nose, your mouth, and your eyes. Stay home as much as possible. Avoid enclosed spaces unless absolutely necessary. And this is for anyone, whether you're feeling sick or not. If you do go out and you're feeling sick, wear a mask, especially if you're going to be in contact with others. It is not necessary to wear a mask if you are not sick. However, it does provide a layer of protection. So if you have a mask, do wear it. If you've traveled anywhere recently, please stay home and isolate for at least 14 days to give the virus a chance to manifest if you have it, and so that you're not passing it on to anyone else. Again, the highest way that this virus is being spread is by traveling and being in large crowds. So stay home if you've traveled, whether international or domestic. Avoid contact with the most vulnerable populations, which we'll talk about on the next slide. And remember that anyone can be a carrier, even if you feel healthy and you want to protect others. So the vulnerable populations is anyone over the age of 60, anyone that has diabetes or heart disease, a history of respiratory conditions such as asthma, bronchitis, COPD, lung cancer, anyone that has a compromised immune system, such as cancer survivors, autoimmune patients, or someone who just gets sick a lot. And anyone that has any other underlying health condition may be at risk. Another population that is not often talked about is smokers and vapors of any substance, whether it's tobacco, cannabis, or drugs. Again, this virus attacks the lungs, and people that smoke already have vulnerable lungs. Anyone that certainly has had any type of surgery to their lungs is also at risk. Also, the homeless population is vulnerable, and anyone that's taking a lot of medication, people that use drugs, or alcoholics. However, even if you are not a vulnerable population, anyone is a carrier, and this can affect you too. Some young people are also falling from this virus, and so this is very serious. The best thing you can do, prevention is the best medicine. Let me show you how. First, let's talk about top antiviral foods. The number one easiest, cheapest, most effective way to kill off any viruses is by sipping hot water throughout the day. Most viruses, pathogens, and bacteria do not survive in hot environments. So drinking hot water is really helpful to maintain warmth inside your body to be able to kill off any pathogens. When you drink hot water and it goes into your body and it mixes with your saliva and all of your gastric juices as it goes into your digestive system, this hot water mixed with the gastric juices turns into like a healing nectar. And this healing nectar scavenges your body, expelling any pathogens. So drink hot water. Certainly drink it throughout the day as prevention. And also if you've been out and around others, drink it a little bit more. Up your intake, by 2. Another antiviral food is breast milk. Breast milk is amazing as antiviral. If any of you are mothers and you're breastfeeding, please continue to breastfeed your baby as often as you both would like. Breast milk changes composition according to what is going on in the environment and what the baby needs, as well as how it grows. So even if you're sick, mama, continue to breastfeed your child, because your child and your body have this invisible communication. So if you're sick, there's pathogens in the air that fall into the saliva of your baby's mouth, and that once your baby's mouth touches the breast, it sends a signal into the breast which changes the composition of the milk, increasing the presence of antibodies so that your baby does not get sick. So breast milk is a great antiviral food. Garlic is another great antiviral food. The best way to eat it for its antiviral, antiparasitic, and antifungal properties is by chewing it raw. That may be a little bit hard, but that is the best way to get those antiviral properties. I would recommend doing no more than 1 to 2 cloves of raw garlic a day. You can also cook with it and use it dried as well as a spice. Just be cautious. Don't do more than 1 to 2 raw cloves of garlic, because it does have side effects if you take it in excess. It can cause gas. It can have an effect on your blood pressure, as well as possibly headaches. Oregano is a spice. It's a plant. It's used as a culinary spice and you can cook with it, and it does have a lot of antiviral properties. It's also often included in a lot of antiviral, antifungal, antiparasitic herbal formulas and tinctures and in supplement form. Elderberry is also amazing. It is a berry. It's great as an antiviral food. It's found usually in syrup form and can also be included in other herbal formulations for prevention. It is definitely safe for kids and it tastes amazing. Fennel is another bulb food. It is of the bulb family, like garlic and onions and leeks. You can find it fresh and you can use it dried. You can cook with it. It's amazing. Very powerful stuff, and it tastes pretty good. Ginger is one of the main herbs in traditional Chinese medicine. It's used often for digestive conditions. It's very warming in nature. So it's also helpful for any time that it's cold. Drinking some hot ginger tea makes you feel better. Ginger is also antiviral, antiparasitic, and antifungal. You can consume it fresh or dried. I prefer dried at this time because it has a longer shelf life, and you can find it in the spice rack. I always like to opt for organic whenever possible. Mushrooms are also antiviral. I actually came across a couple of really amazing studies where shiitake, chaga, and reishi were being tested for their antiviral properties and confirmed to be antiviral against HIV. Shiitake you can find in the market and cook with it. Chaga and reishi are usually found in supplement form. Reishi is also great for immune system dysfunction manifesting as asthma and allergies. Citrus fruits are great as antiviral foods, especially lemon. You can also use the peel, boil it and use it as a tea, and that's also an antiviral. Anytime you make a tea out of any herb, it's going to be the most potent version of that herb. Coconut is also an antiviral food, whether it's the oil, the water, the milk, or the flesh. It's also amazing for brain health as well as joint health. Coconut has been studied for its antiviral properties, and it is also great used in oil pulling. Oil pulling is an ancient Ayurvedic practice. A lot of health conditions, including viruses, tend to have a root in oral health, meaning that a lot of bacteria live in the mouth, and that actually contributes to a lot of diseases. So oil pulling is a wonderful way to prevent any of that, and it's very easy to do. Just takes a few minutes first thing in the morning. You can look it up online how to do oil pulling. Radishes are antiviral. Onions, which I'm sure a lot of people cook with onions. They're great as an antiviral food as well, also antiparasitic and antifungal. Leeks are also part of the onion family, and they look like green onions. They're also good as an antiviral, antiparasitic, and antifungal food. And different types of seaweed, spirulina, seaweed, sea kelp are all great antiviral foods. And now let's talk about the top antiviral herbs. Number 1 on the list is echinacea. Echinacea is a plant with antiviral properties. You can use the dried plant and steep it as a tea and drink it as a tea. You can also find it in supplement form, tea bags, and it's often included in several different herbal formulas for immune boosting. Star anise is also one of the top antiviral herbs. Star anise is very powerful if you boil it, steep it for up to 30 minutes, and then drink this throughout the day. It has amazing antiviral properties. Astragalus is one of the main herbs in Chinese medicine. It is an adaptogen as well as an immune booster and an antiviral. It is a root. It is often used, the dried root portion is often used, and you can find it in several different Chinese herbal formulas, other herbal formulas, tinctures. You can find it as the dried root in an herbal store, and you can boil the dried root and steep it and drink it as a tea. Calendula is another antiviral herb. It is a flower that's often used dried. It's often used in traditional Mexican medicine for so many different conditions. It is also, on top of being antiviral, it is an anti-inflammatory, and it helps with any type of skin conditions, sunburns, burns, mosquito bites, bug bites. It's a wonderful herb. Cat's claw is native to the Americas, and it is an antiviral as well as anti-inflammatory herb. Licorice root is great as a antiviral, immune boosting herb, and it is also a respiratory herb. Helps to tonify the respiratory system. It's often included in throat teas and formulations because it is great for lubricating the throat. Olive leaf. Olive leaf is an antiviral herb. Sage is antiviral. You can find it dried as a spice and cook with it. You can also use it as incense and do a smudge in your home to get rid of any pathogens that are airborne. Cinnamon. Cinnamon is an amazing herb. It's one of my favorites. Cinnamon is very warming in nature, and it is often used in Chinese medicine as well as traditional medicine from Mexico. Cinnamon is warming in nature. It expels cold from the muscle layer, and it also warms the interior. So it is used often in gynecological health and women's health. It helps with warming the uterus, and it's used in a lot of women's health formulas for warming the uterus and removing blood stagnation. It's helpful for painful periods, fibroids, tumors, so many different conditions. In this case, it is also antiviral and helps to expel cold from the body. Thyme. Thyme is a great herb. You can drink it as a tea, and you can also use it as a culinary spice and cook with it. Basil. Basil is one of the master plants in traditional Mexican medicine as well as other parts of the Eastern world. Holy basil specifically is an adaptogen and helps with relieving stress. Basil is often found outside of homes in Mexico for protection and banishing negative energy. You can also cook with it. It's used a lot in Italy as well. It is a culinary spice. You can use it fresh or dried, and also drink it as a tea. It tastes wonderful. Black pepper is an amazing herb for so many different things. In this case, it is antiviral. It's also very warming. It's also often included with other herbs to increase their potency and their absorption. For example, with turmeric alone, you absorb about 5% of the turmeric that you're consuming. When you combine it with black pepper, you're absorbing up to 95% of your turmeric. So black pepper is great to combine with turmeric as well as other substances. And it is a great antiviral. You can also cook with it. Grapefruit seed extract is also an antiviral, and turmeric is one of my favorite herbs. You can use it for so many different things. You can cook with it. You can also use it in supplement form. It is often included in a lot of formulas for different conditions. Turmeric specifically is good as an antiviral. It is anti-inflammatory, so it helps with pain. It is also great for brain health. It's been used in studies where it's proven to help Alzheimer's and dementia. It is also great for reducing and stabilizing healthy cholesterol levels as well as blood pressure. All right, let's talk about top immunity and respiratory herbs. So these herbs are specifically helpful for boosting immunity and your respiratory system. Eucalyptus, you can use as a tea. You can also cook with it, and you can also use the essential oil of eucalyptus for the respiratory system. It is very invigorating and uplifting. Mullein flowers, also known as gordo lobo, it is often used in Native American tradition. Mullein flowers are a dried flower that you can use as a tea. Hierba santa is another great immune respiratory herb. Lavender, which is an anti-inflammatory as well, helps to boost immunity as well as your respiratory system. It is also very relaxing, calming, and sedating. You can drink it as a tea. Sometimes it is used as a culinary spice and as an essential oil. Peppermint is very refreshing, very invigorating. It is cooling. So it's great in the summer when it's hot, but also it is invigorating and uplifting. And it is also antiviral, antifungal, and antiparasitic, and it boosts your immune system and helps the respiratory system. It is very uplifting, so it is not recommended to use at night if you have insomnia. Licorice root, also back to peppermint, it is also good for the digestive system, and it helps if you're feeling bloated or if you've eaten too much. Drink a warm cup of peppermint tea and it should help relieve some of that bloating. Licorice root, as I mentioned before, is great for the immune system and the respiratory system. It is a root. You can steep it and drink it as a tea. You can also find it in tincture form for, it's more powerful in tincture form if you want to use it for your immune boosting. Ginseng is one of the main herbs in traditional Chinese medicine. It is a root and it is a qi tonic, so it tonifies your qi, gives you energy. It's often included in many of the sexual virility formulas for reproductive health and reproductive function. It's often used in a lot of the male formulas to increase potency. It's a great herb. Again, if you suffer from insomnia, I wouldn't recommend using it in the evening, just in the morning. Ashwagandha is amazing for your immune system. It is also considered an adaptogen, which is a category of herbs that helps the body to manage appropriate stress levels and stabilize your hormonal functions. It is an Ayurvedic herb. It is a root, and it is great for calming the nervous system as well. Astragalus, as I mentioned before, is an adaptogen as well, boosts your immune system. It is a root. You can drink it as a tea, and it is often found in a lot of herbal formulations for boosting immunity as well as stress levels and overall well-being. Rosemary is a wonderful herb for the respiratory system. It is also refreshing, invigorating, purifying, and cleansing. It is used in traditional Mexican medicine for its purification properties. A lot of people also grow it outside their home for protection and helps to banish negative energy. It also cleanses the air of pathogens. So you can definitely use it as a dried herbal smudge, just like you would with sage. Top immune boosting veggies. Greens. All of the different greens are amazing for boosting your immune system as well as tonifying your blood. So greens are also great for women's health and reproductive health, and also boosting fertility. So spinach, kale, chards, romaine lettuce, any of those dark leafy greens that are rich in chlorophyll and chlorella are going to boost your hemoglobin levels, which means you're going to have richer blood. And in this case, they also boost your immunity because they are rich in minerals and vitamins. Cabbage is a great immune boosting veggie. Carrots and a lot of other root vegetables are great for boosting your immune system and also keeping you grounded because they are a root vegetable. Any of the vegetables that are growing inside soil are also going to be rich in a lot of vitamins and minerals, which are essential for health. Parsley is great. It is also good at pulling toxic heavy metals from the body and helps to tonify kidney health, kidney energy. Broccoli is anti-cancerous, antioxidant, and has a lot of vitamins and minerals as well to help boost your immune system. Turnips, just like carrots, are a root vegetable and help to offer a lot of nutrients. Bell pepper and habanero peppers are both great for boosting immunity. They have what is called capsaicin. Capsaicin has been studied extensively for its anti-cancerous properties. All right, and now we'll talk about some immune boosting fruits. Citrus fruits, as I mentioned earlier, are antiviral. They also boost your immune system, especially lemon. Tomatoes are rich in lycopene. Lycopene has been proven in a lot of studies to prevent cancer. Specifically, there's a lot of studies on prostate cancer and tomatoes. Pomegranates and other berries, such as strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, are all rich in antioxidants, which help to boost the immune system as well as fight cancer and other pathogens. Papaya is great for boosting the immune system. It also helps to lubricate the intestines and has a lot of digestive bonuses. Papaya has an enzyme called papain, which helps to get rid of parasites. Guava helps to boost the immune system. It's also lubricating. Pineapple is great. It's rich in bromelain, which is an anti-inflammatory and also helps to boost the immune system. Apricots help to boost the immune system, and they are lubricating for the respiratory system. Some immune boosting foods, bone broth. If you're familiar with bone broth, it is very rich in a lot of nutrients, specifically collagen. Collagen holds together a lot of things in our bodies. It holds together the joints. It holds together our skin. So bone broth is great for joint health, brain health, mood health, and skin health. Yogurt, kimchi, and sauerkraut are all rich in probiotics. Probiotics are essential for the digestive tract, and the digestive tract, specifically our small intestine, houses all of our immune system, and it houses it is like our second brain. It's where all of our serotonin and dopamine and all of those feel-good chemicals are produced. If our digestive system is out of balance, if in our small intestine we have too much fungus overgrowth, candida, if we are have a diet rich in dairy and gluten, we're actually blocking the digestive system, and so we're not able to absorb our nutrients. We may have an overgrowth of the bad bacteria. So probiotics really help to keep this bacteria in balance, because the probiotics eat away at the bad bacteria. So that's why yogurt, kimchi, and sauerkraut are on this list, because they are rich in probiotics. Yogurt, if you find dairy-free options, that is best, because again, dairy is problematic for the digestive system. It's very mucus forming and inhibits the absorption of a lot of nutrients, as well as creates a lot of mucus in the entire body. It is at the root cause of things like allergies and asthma. Kimchi and sauerkraut are also rich in probiotics, and you can add them to any food. And then carrot slaw, which we're going to talk about next in the next slide. The recipe is going to follow, but carrot slaw is like a sauerkraut and very rich in probiotics. And here is the carrot slaw recipe. I often will make this in a large bowl and just have it in the fridge for a couple of days and add it to any dish and any meal. But basically, you can use 2 carrots, shred them, 3 radishes, shred them. You can use about 4 garlic cloves mashed up, or you can use more, you can use less, it's up to you. You can use a quarter of a chopped onion, leek, or fennel, or you can use all of them. You can use more or less depending on how you like the taste. 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley, 1 teaspoon of Himalayan salt, thyme, oregano, sage, and apple cider vinegar. And also 1 teaspoon of cayenne or black pepper, or both, depending on how spicy you like it. And then the juice of half a lemon. Basically, you combine all of these ingredients, toss them into like a salad, and it's almost like a little carrot slaw / kraut. This is going to be rich in probiotics, and it tastes really yummy if you like tangy, sour things. You can also substitute and use, instead of carrots, you can use cabbage or beets. Any of those root vegetables, also turnips, are going to be great. You can combine them all. If you want to do carrots, cabbage, beets, you can use all of them. Beets are great because they're also a blood tonic. And the fermentation of using them in this way is going to break down some of that sugar that's in the beet. All right, so carrot slaw. Now let's talk about one of my favorite beverages to drink. It's a turmeric tonic. If any of you follow me on Instagram, you know that I often post and talk about this recipe. I can't say enough about the health benefits of this beverage, but basically the combination of the turmeric, the apple cider vinegar, the ginger, the Himalayan salt, it's hydrating, it's nourishing, it's cleansing, it's detoxifying, it's amazing for the digestive tract, it's great for your immune system, helps to boost your immune system. It can give you a bit of an energy boost. It's helpful if you have a cold, if you have allergies. It's great for your kidneys. It helps to filter and cleanse your kidneys. It's great for your liver. This is just amazing. Use 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, the juice of half a lemon, 1 teaspoon of Himalayan salt. And let me just briefly tell you about Himalayan salt. It's the only salt I use now. Himalayan salt is rich in minerals. It has over 84 trace minerals. It's so good for respiratory health. It's so good for your kidneys. It's very mineralizing and rich and hydrating for the body. It's just great. So anyway, 1 teaspoon of Himalayan salt, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper or black pepper, or both if you want. I prefer cayenne because it's spicy. 1 teaspoon of dried ginger, 1 teaspoon of dried turmeric. If you have a tincture of ginger or turmeric, you can use that as well if you prefer. And then use 4 to 8 ounces of hot water, depending on the taste. If you want to make shots of this, you can, and you can, drink 1 shot in the morning, 1 shot in the evening. You can also make a really large jug of this, like a 1 liter bottle of it, and sip it hot throughout the day, especially if you feel like you're a little sick and you have something coming on. Drink this throughout the day. It's going to help you recover. I often will use this if I feel a little bit of an allergic reaction to something, like I start sneezing because I've been outdoors in the spring or the fall. I'll use it if I feel like I'm getting sick or I'm like feeling a little run down. This is really helpful. And often right now during this virus outbreak, I'm using it often. I'm drinking it throughout the day, hot. Okay. Now let's just talk about some supplements. Vitamin C is great for boosting your immune system, really revs it up, 300 milligrams more or less, daily in divided doses. You don't want to do too much at a time because it can make you feel nauseous. You don't want to do more than 4 grams a day, especially unless you have cancer. Then other than that, people should be around 300 milligrams. Vitamin D3 is great for your immune system. It's also good for your brain health and also for your bone health. It acts like a hormone in the body and carries calcium to your bones. Oftentimes, a lot of people are deficient in vitamin D. You can also get it from the sun, and a lot of us don't go outdoors, so we are deficient in vitamin D. So you can start with 5,000 IUs if you are really deficient for 2 weeks, and then you go down to your baseline of 2,000 IUs daily, which is a good maintenance dosage. Zinc and magnesium are both minerals that are often found to be deficient in most of the population. Specifically, a lot of the studies that I've looked at are around mood health. So people with bipolar, stress, anxiety, depression have often commonly shown a deficiency in zinc and magnesium. Also, people that have asthma are really deficient in zinc and magnesium, and other respiratory conditions. Sometimes people are misdiagnosed and are misdiagnosed with ADD when really all they have is a magnesium or a mineral deficiency. So magnesium is like a natural muscle relaxer. Some signs of magnesium deficiency include muscle pain anywhere in the body, headaches, backaches, body aches, asthma or respiratory difficulty is also a sign of magnesium deficiency. Stress, muscle twitching, muscle spasms, insomnia, and anxiety can all be signs of a magnesium deficiency. Take 400 milligrams daily in citrate, malate, chelate, or chloride form. Zinc is also, magnesium is also an immune boosting supplement, so it boosts your immune system. It also really helps with constipation because magnesium, as I mentioned, it's a natural muscle relaxer. It doesn't just include the muscles in your legs and arms, for example, but it also includes the smooth muscles of the body, the ones surrounding the lungs and the respiratory system, and the ones in the colon and the digestive system. So because magnesium is a muscle relaxer, it smooths and relaxes the colon, which helps you go to the bathroom, and also smooths and relaxes the muscles in the airways, which helps you breathe. Zinc is an underrated mineral that is often found deficient in a lot of people. It is also great for boosting the immunity. 20 milligrams daily is a good dose. Selenium is a mineral that is good for boosting the immune system, 100 micrograms daily. Curcumin is the active compound in turmeric. You can take it in supplement form, 3 grams daily. Again, it is so effective for so many things, and it's often used in a lot of cancer immunomodulating protocols. Quercetin helps with boosting the immune system. 3 grams daily is good. And then CBD is great for the immune system as well as brain health. 25 milligrams is a good baseline dosage. You can do more or less depending on your health concerns. If you have a lot of stress, anxiety, depression, insomnia, you can do more CBD. If you're fighting cancer, you should definitely do more CBD. Top immune boosting essential oils. All of these oils, pretty much all of them, are also antiviral, antifungal, and antiparasitic. You can use oils topically and rub them in different parts of your body, and think of them as a shield. When you go outside, you can rub them before you go outside, and it's like your shield protecting you against the external pathogens. Another way to use these oils is by what I did when I was under a antifungal, antiparasitic cleanse a few months ago, is I got an empty bottle, a glass bottle. I put a carrier oil in it, and then I put about 5 drops of each of these. A little less of the really strong ones like peppermint and oregano. Those are really, really strong, so you don't even need that much, maybe 2 drops. But basically, I combined all of these in a bottle with a carrier oil, and I would rub this on my torso area, because one thing I want to mention is the skin is your largest organ in the body, and anything that you absorb, anything that you put on your skin gets absorbed directly into your bloodstream, and it circulates throughout your body. So I would put this in the area, in my torso. I would apply it topically in my torso after my bath and before I would go to bed, because I wanted it to kind of like seep into my gut. And so that's what I did. So that's another way that you can kind of cleanse yourself. Another way to use this is by putting it in your humidifier or your bath. And you can also do steam inhalation. Steam inhalations are done with a large pot of boiled water. You drop 1 to 2 drops of any of those oils that you have. You can use 1 or 2 or 3 or all of them. If you don't have all of them, you don't need all of them. Oftentimes just a couple of these are pretty powerful enough. And then basically you're just going to breathe in that steam. You want to kind of trap that steam. So if you put a towel over your head and create a tent over your pot of hot water with essential oils in it, you're really going to reap the benefits of those steam inhalations. All right, now let's talk about some lifestyle tips for prevention. Number 1, viruses don't survive in hot environments, so stay warm as much as possible. Take hot baths with Epsom salt. Keep your house warm, especially your bedroom at night. Take hot baths with Epsom salt. Doing a hot foot soak with sea salt seems to pull out toxins from the body. I haven't personally done this, but I've read a lot of really great things, and I know people that have done it. But basically, you want to put your only your feet, because a lot of toxins are pulled out from your feet. I think it's a gravity thing. And use sea salt, not Epsom salt. Sea salt specifically to pull out toxins from the body. Do this for about 20 to 30 minutes. If you do it 3 nights in a row, it's going to be really helpful for you. Keep yourself hydrated and drink plenty of water. A key feature of COVID-19 is dryness. So you want to keep your skin and your mucous membranes moist with lotion and oil. Always make sure you're moist. Nasal irrigation is also helpful to remove pathogens from the nasal passages. The respiratory system includes the nose, which is our very first filter from the external environment. So if you've been out and you've been around people, if you've been traveling, if you've been at the airport, in an airplane, wash your nose. Nasal irrigation means a sinus wash or a neti pot. Movement and sweat also helps to pull out impurities and prevent viral infections. Again, sweating. That phrase, sweat it out, it really means something. It means you're sweating out all of those impurities, all of those pathogens from your body. Run a humidifier at home, especially at night. It's going to help to keep you moist, especially if it's dry. Sip hot water throughout the day. Again, which I mentioned in the beginning, sipping hot water is one of your best, easiest ways to protect yourself. Oil pulling with coconut oil first thing in the morning is going to help keep all the bacteria from your mouth clean. All right. Meditation is amazing for stress and keeping your immune system and your brain health functioning. Sleep is important for immunity. Anywhere between 7 to 9 hours is ideal. Eating well, a whole foods, plant-based diet is best. Avoiding dairy, sugar, gluten, alcohol, and caffeine is best. De-stress, anything that is helpful for you to de-stress, please do so. Stress really shuts down your immune system. Exercise and movement. Staying warm is important. Get outdoors for a walk, a run, or a hike. Be in nature around trees. The oxygen helps to clear the lungs. Smudge your home regularly with sage and or palo santo. That helps to clear airborne pathogens. There are studies to prove this. And do breath work periodically to keep your lungs strong. And here are some resources. If you are not already subscribed to my email list, you can do so at my website. I do send out a lot of really good updates. Follow me on Instagram. I also send out really good updates there. If you're looking for exercise, my Girl Body by Gia offers great at-home workout videos. A lot of them are free. Yoga, a lot of yoga studios are offering yoga classes online, so do take advantage of that. If you're looking for herbs, organicolivia.com, good quality herbs. And if you're local to Highland Park, Eastern Garden Designs has produce as well as herbs. Here are some of my references that I've used for compiling this information. I hope this information was helpful. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I wish you luck. Please stay healthy. Please stay strong. If you have any questions at all, please email me. You can find my email on my website.